Is it live?
We're live.
Hi guys.
Everyone, we are live.
Hi people. Hi people. Nice to see you guys.
Nice to see everybody.
I missed everyone on Monday. Happy to be here.
I know. I'm happy too. It feels like a Monday for some reason.
Gosh, no, it feels like a Friday.
Yeah, it feels like a Friday for me too. I guess it's because over here it's a holiday tomorrow, so
naingoje hiyo Ijumaa, naingoje
ni holiday kwenu pia?
No.
Oh.
Huku Eid is not a holiday huku. Eid is a holiday.
Yeah. Was it 1st of May? The first week Monday of May, and now we are going to have another one last week of May.
With that 1st of May, yeah.
I'm going to
dance. Come on, British summers was British like UK can get summer. I think so. So you know holiday gani, but I think it's like probably British summer's holiday.
Yeah. As we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Mwenda kazini kesho?
Hakuna kazi. Okay, some of us are working. Some of us have to work, yeah. But watu wa kwenda 8 to 5, hakuna kazi.
Hakuna kazi,
no school.
Oh, that's good. At least not relax. You don't have to wake up early. Hizi mambo za kurauka
ready,
breakfast, yourself ready, drop the child off and then come back to work. So you blame some women for wanting to be stay-at-home moms.
Aki, honestly, I think it's the best because you have all the time. I mean, yes, it's busy at home, yeah, but you can schedule your time ufanye mambo yako at your own time. You know,
yeah,
flexible.
Kudos to all women out there, whether you're, kudos to all women. Tena nyumbani Kenya, kudos to all you single moms, even those who are not single moms, who are married or come with stay, you're squeezy. Kudos to Chandoa, kudos to all those moms because it's really hard. Single dads too out there. It's really hard. Kulia watoto, to have a family can be quite difficult, hectic.
Oh yeah.
You have to juggle your job, unajuggle pia watoto na bwana ama your partner. Oh goodness me! Kudos to all women out there.
Yeah. Juggling all that, it's never easy. Never easy. Yeah, there's a lot of self-sacrifice. A lot of it. Yeah, and at the end of the day, you have to get everything done. The family has to be running.
Hello.
I know. We're still waiting for Nicole. We do not know what Nicole is doing. How to Yui?
She's tagging people.
Yeah, as she says, tag your friends. And your family members.
When I get on, I forget everybody's names. I don't know why when I get on and I want to tag people, then I'm like, who am I supposed to tag? I can't even, the names don't come to me.
You can tag my cousin.
Okay, so today we are talking about black women. Sorry guys.
Black women, we're supposed to be strong.
They're supposed to be strong. Basically, if I say, I didn't understand when Nicole said like, black women, the ideology of black women are strong, because I did not know. I was just assuming like, we want to talk as, women as a whole. But after having a conversation with her, asubuhi, akaniambia, trying to explain what she meant, it did make sense. Especially nyumbani, how she put it, nyumbani lazima uwe na nguvu, and it's like, I don't know, like a woman, for me, my perspective growing with my mom basically, and her being a single mom, after my dad passing away and having a single mom, kama si watoto, we don't know what's going on. We're always looking up to our moms. And then, also like her dad and her mom were back in the village, the country life. They were still also expecting something from my mom. They know, even though they know she's a single mom, they do know that, she's doing well, because as a woman back at home, or as just a black person, a nyumbani, especially just Africa as a whole, like, don't get to for Kenya for now, because I know about Kenya. Unajua watu wengi hawaongei about the problems that they go through.
No.
Do not open up to their family members, and I thought your family just assumes that you're what? That so and so is doing great. My mom never really had any help from my dad's family, basically. And that's why I don't really have that strong family connection with my dad's side of the family, because we never really spent so much time with them, because mamangu she didn't get any help from them, and it was just all by herself, ata from her family peer. She didn't get any help from her family, basically. They expected from her, and they always expected her to be this like, oh, akinyini huyu mwanamke, she's all that. Na hata pia uking'ara pia wanafikiri kwamba huna shida.
Yeah, she has that strong personality, you know, and people generally just assume just because you're strong, you can handle anything, life can throw anything at you, and you should be fine. And that's really unfair, really unfair.
And also, you know, women, we are socialized to be strong. You know, we're not supposed to break down in public. We're supposed to have it in order, have our houses in order, have our careers in order, have our education in order. Like, we are not given that leeway to be human. We are expected to be perfect beings.
Like, to be
perfect. And then also for us, there's so much shame in asking for help, because then you're considered weak if you're asking for help, you know. Society has put this much resources on you, then why are you still asking for help? You know, so that means that you don't have it all together, and therefore you're a loser.
Exactly.
Exactly. So those are the things that subconsciously or consciously we carry, we bear, not knowing that we're really harming ourselves, you know, because we have to live up to settled standards.
Yeah, it's a shame, because for me, my lesson started way back when I was a teenage, because I had to live away from home. I had to live with relatives and stuff. And I remember when I was going through lots of struggles, and I just wanted to speak to my mom as a teenage girl. I just wanted to speak to my mom and tell her what I'm going through, all those petty things that are happening to me, to tell her. I just wanted to talk. And she didn't mean it in a bad way. And I'm grateful for her right now for that. I always thought she did the best that she could. So I don't think, I still love that she did that to me. And my mom, when I went to my mom, and she was like, you know what? It's fun in Luo. I wish I could speak for the way she said.
Say it will translate.
Makdimo Kelika. You see? Concentrate on what brought you here.
Oh, yeah.
Leave all this pettiness, you know, leave all this pettiness and stuff. Concentrate. I forget about that. You concentrate on your life and what you want of it. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? That's all you need to focus on. All these other things don't matter. They're just details. And I went on with my whole life like that, you know, just knowing that, okay, what am I doing? What do I expect of this situation? And I don't know whether it messed me up in a way, whether it was good for me, but that was my first lesson of being strong, my first lesson of dealing with things as they are. Yeah, bless her heart. Bless her heart. She only passed to me what she knew.
Yeah, that's all she knew, and she had your best interests at heart. But what she didn't know, and what many of us don't know, is that when we don't deal with things because you're expected to be strong, because then if we deal with them, then you know that means that we are irresponsible and weak and being dramatic, you know. That's really unhealthy. That's unhealthy. What we think of as strong is actually being at a very unhealthy, you know, state, emotionally, mentally, even physically.
I know. A person like my mom, that's all she knew. She was always a strong person. That's all she could relate to. She had 5 children to look after. She was struggling. She didn't have a job. She didn't know any other way. She had to learn how to be strong. And like, I don't know, I would say all of us were like really outspoken people. We were like a handful. She had to deal with that on a daily basis. Sometimes she comes home and we are about to kill each other, you know.
Wow.
And you know, like you're all growing up and you're all fighting. You know, there's always fighting. So you come back home and the first thing your neighbors tell you, hey, one day you would, you know. And how she dealt with that and how we came out okay, it's amazing. It's amazing. So bow down to her. But I hope she knew, I hope she knows now that it wasn't the right way to be strong at all times, to accept that she needs help, to accept that it's okay to be human. Hi, Hillary. Today we are tackling the elephant in the room. Yeah. Hi, Hilary. Please tag your friends and tell them we are on. Thank you for joining us. So, for me, I'm saying this. If being strong, if you're telling me to be strong, and strong being knowing life's pressures, knowing what stress is and handling it, or knowing when to ask for help, if that's what you mean by me being strong, Black women are strong, fine, I'll take it. But if it means that I have to endure abuse, right, just stay on and try to be in a toxic thing just because I want to be strong, then sorry, no thank you. If being strong is that if I want to be assertive, then I'm called aggressive, no thank you, I don't want to be strong. I want to be able to voice. I want to be able to talk when I want to talk. I'm not told that I'm too much, not told that I'm what and what and what. If that's what it means, do you know, this is a true fact. This is a true fact. Are we beginning to have feedback? This is a true fact. In UK, most European countries and US, you, a Black woman, if you went to the doctors and you're unwell, you are in pain, the chances of being given painkillers is not as strong as our counterparts. They're bound to be given either steroids. If
That's
that complaint, you're bound to be sent home with no medication or nothing that strong, because apparently we can endure that. But our counterparts will be given something really strong, and they can be prescribed even 2 or 3 painkillers and strong relief than you would. It's a true fact, imagine.
That is quite sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yes, we are strong, but we don't. You can't put us all in one basket and decide that we are all strong and we all ought to be strong just because our genes wants us to be strong and says that you're strong. I don't think so.
Actually, even locally, when you're working in an organization, an organization with diversity, then the Black woman will be given, the heavier duties. Why? Because of this perception that Black women are strong, and it's quite the norm. There have been stories, in these groups where people travel and relocate to other countries. So there have been stories from Kenyans that one of their biggest culture shocks when they went, to the West was having housekeepers that were, not Black people, Caucasian housekeepers, and that really shocked them because we have been cultured that it's Black people who are supposed to do the, domestic chores. The root of stereotype. I don't know where the root is. What do you ladies think is the genesis of all this Black women are strong thing? Where did it start?
Actually, I don't know. Probably from colonization times. You'd be surprised. The colonization times. Because I don't know about the past before the colonization and how our ancestors or our forefathers lived. We don't really know. I, per se, do not know. But according to some articles online, whereby you find, so I don't know if it's true or not really true, because there's no fact behind it. But during the colonization, basically, Black women are conceived, because sometimes you find when I Black women who are. Their bodies they just natural athletic bodies. I've got a friend who has a natural athletic body. Her body is naturally athletic. You think she runs or she goes to the gym. So with such bodies as well, with such industries, some of the industries as well, they assume that you're automatically either mentally or physically strong, and even that as well is not really considered beautiful. And then you find some women end up feeling some type of way because their body is shaped, they have these muscles which are natural. Actually you do not do anything to have
really good.
And then you just assume that either she's too manly.
That's really amazing, because our physical, our features doesn't necessarily mean that we are strong emotionally. It's got nothing to do with that. Just because you can handle a ball hitting you doesn't necessarily mean you have to handle abuse.
Yeah,
not really.
Yeah, true.
Having muscles doesn't necessarily mean that you can handle a ball anyway.
Yeah,
that's just a feature that is going to you. That is really strange.
Sorry for cutting.
And also, come to think of it, I think the way our ancestors lived, women were really protected. Women never did, the hard stuff like hunting and gathering. That was the men's responsibility, while the women stayed back at home and took care of the family, did the more lighter duties. So I'm wondering, at what point did we, even here at home in Africa, at what point did we change? Was it the colonialism where, the African was supposed to be working and doing the really hard chores? Was it brought about by slavery? So I think getting to the genesis of, this notion will help us move away from it and also just take better care of ourselves as African women.
You know what? There is this thing where people put some beliefs in you and then they end up using that against you,
Yes.
So
I think that is what happened.
Maybe it cropped up from there. That's why it all started where maybe during slavery they could see that we could toil, but we didn't have a choice. We wanted to survive, so we had to toil. And then there was all this, you are strong, so you can do this. So the narrative started from there, and then it went global, where now we globally think that Black women are strong and they have to be strong at all times. I would imagine that's where it came from. It's just like this whole thing about women hating each other or not being each other's enemy. Somebody started that so that they divide us. But we know it's not good for us. But the more people believe in such things, the better for somebody. So it was working for somebody when they started all this, Black women are strong. Maybe scientifically, yes, there's some things that we can endure and stuff, but it's because that belief gets passed down to the next generation and the next generation, and you tend to perfect such things thinking that it's good for you, it's working for you, but it has its pros and cons, and we should be wary of those cons. That's why we should be on the lookout, because this is what has brought all this abuse. This has brought all this domestic abuse, where somebody just stays. You've been hit the first time, but okay, my mom used to be beaten all the time. My mom had it was, so I'm okay. So you stay. And then you be called, that lady was married and now is not married anymore. I'll tell you what, for me, I used to run. If you hit immediately you've punched that wall, I'm at your parents. You come and take me from there and explain to them what I'm doing there. I'm at your parents. Because I'm saying one day you'll miss that wall and hit me. I'm not waiting for that day. I am so gone. I am so gone. I'm not waiting to be hit. I don't want to be the strong woman who can be hit and hit. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
True. That is absolutely true. For me, it's just like my 2 pence opinion. So you're right with what you're saying. What Yvette said and what you said about the colonization and stuff like that. Well, scientifically, there's no proof, but again, that plays a really huge role into how people think nowadays, especially in the Black people society. We're not pointing fingers, but we do know what slavery and colonization did to people who are colonized, and that's back to back to what Nicole said, basically about you being in an abusive relationship or marriage, because our moms and their moms and their moms, and then you just go back, they were told, be strong, kuwa tuna nguvu na ubaki hapo. You know what? So because come exactly, let's say like if for example kama hiyo kitu li stretch back in the days ambao unajua wazungu walivyokuja Kenya, wako colonize Kenya, alafu unajua unaenda mnapeleka mashambani, nyinyi ndio mnakuwa slaves in your own country, basically mnafanya hivyo. Hata kama uko ukicomplain, ukilia, unajua someone probably ilianza tu na wewe, mtu akwambia tu vumilia tu, itapita, vumilia tu, and then it just sort of like came, I have no proof with this, for me I'm just saying it's just my 2 pence opinion, na mtu kusema vumilia tu, ipe itapita, and then it ends up being a cycle. And unajua pia sometimes,
and the kids are watching that, aren't they?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. No, you sometimes when someone is abused, right? When someone is abused, 99% they also go on into abusing someone without them knowing.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
Very true.
So kama nyakati za colonization, kama Afrika au mashambani, wameenda wamechandikwa na hizo zaitwaje? Ni
Nyaunyo.
Nyaunyo, that's the word. Word is from Masai. Wamechapa kweli kweli. Wamechapa kweli kweli. Sana hiyo hasira pia wanaenda nyumbani pia wanatoa hasira on the wife and the kids. Alafu tena pia inaenda unajua, alafu it keeps on going and going and going and going and going.
Because I was thinking about it recently. Itabia yenye we have, so long as you are in a certain status, society status or whatever, unapata ukiwa na labda a house help or whatever, you tend to have that power hungry thing going on where you want to like hit them, sijui mkate pesa obvious, doing nini. You know, I was thinking about that recently. I don't know, I was having a conversation with somebody about it, I think. I was like, why do we even need to do that? But what you're saying, maybe it's linked to that. We saw it, just doing exactly the same thing that we saw, and we're thinking it's a norm, it's okay to do that. So
it's totally linked to that, because these are just those bad habits that are not working for us. Those bad habits that have been passed down from generation to generation. And now let me tell you, most of these people who hit house helps, and most people, the people who are rude to people who are perceived to be, you know, under them, most of them at some point in their lives were abused. Yeah. And so when they get to that place of power, it's like payback time. Yeah. So they get their own power from abusing the people that they perceive to be, you know, of lesser status than them. Yeah. So yes, it's true. Like you're saying, it's been passed down, you know, from generation to generation to generation, but just in different forms.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And also there's also this other notion of the Proverbs 31 woman. And many of us are socialized with that. The Proverbs 31 woman, where as a woman is supposed to be perfect. You know, you're making your own fabric and doing stuff, you know, really extraordinary, almost non-human things, you know, just to be seen as the ideal woman.
And perfect. A good example to the whole society.
Yes, that's the thing. And I think that this particular chapter of the Bible has been misused. Yes, as a woman, we want to achieve things. Yes, we want to, you know, put things in order and, you know, live a pretty much decent life. But then at what expense? Then are we doing it at the expense of our own sanity? Are we doing it at the expense of our own happiness? Are the conditions right for us to achieve those things? You know, is society really giving us, you know, a conducive environment to be this Proverbs 31 woman? You know, so I think society or our environment, there should be things put in place, you know, a safe environment for us to thrive, an environment where we're not being abused, an environment where, you know, we've got access to education, access to healthcare, access to protection, you know, for us to be able to be, you know, all these things that a woman is supposed to be. And most importantly, also access to therapy. I mean, most of us and us Africans, we normally say, hii mambo ya therapy ni mambo ya wazungu. So we just need to normalize therapy and talking about, you know, the things that really hurt us, you know.
Oh, okay. Welcome everybody. We are talking about Black women being strong. This notion that goes on about us being strong. Don't get us wrong. We love being strong. We embrace strong. We want to be strong. We are happy with being strong. Hi, Virginia. Welcome. And continue being strong if you're being strong, but not at the expense of anything, not at the expense of your health and your children. We've said on this platform lots and lots and lots and lots. You have to look after yourself. You're good to nobody if you're not looking after yourself. Always put on your gas mask first before helping others. So we're saying if you're calling me strong, and strong means that I know this is too much pressure for me, it will cause me stress and I can walk away. Yes, fine. We're saying we welcome that. If strong means that I can voice my concern I can be assertive and stuff and not be called aggressive. We've said, yes, we will accept being called a strong woman. If being strong means that I can ask for help and be supported with that help. If I told you that I'm being abused, you're not going to tell me, oh, vumilia tu, our culture, no. We are saying those are the things we don't want. If being strong is allowing me to say no when I don't want to do a certain thing, then yes, by all means, call me strong. By all means. But if you want me to call me strong, I expect me to be able to do all the chores at a certain time, do everything, be a working woman, look after the children, do this and do that, because I'm supposed to be strong and I'm not supposed to break. I'm going through a burnout, mental breakdown and stuff, but you expect me to be strong. You're saying no to that now. If that's what strong is, we don't want to be strong anymore. We've refused that. Take your crown back. We don't want that. So that's the discussion today.
Sorry, Yvette, go on.
As I was preparing for today's topic, I came across this quote from an American Ghanaian scholar. Let me read it out for you guys. Oh, but guys, Nicole and Lovin don't know about this quote. It's something that I'm reading just now, so they're going to hear it for the first time. Yeah? And it goes this way. So the American Ghanaian scholar is called Mary Nana Ama Dankwa. And she says, mental illness that affects white men is characterized as a sign of genius. While white women who suffer from mental illness are depicted as spoiled or just plain hysterical. Black women are demonized or pathologized. Black women are certainly not seen as genius or even labeled as hysterical or pathological. When a Black woman suffers from mental disorder, we are labeled as weak. And weakness in Black women is intolerable. Guys.
I've had that before.
Guys. Yeah. Isn't that the reality on the ground? You're not supposed to be weak. You're not supposed to break. We are supposed to be all together.
Yeah.
How sad.
It's how sad.
That's our life.
Same thing, but different terms according to who is suffering from it.
Yes.
That is so sad.
And we are not even supposed to suffer from mental illness. Exactly. We're not supposed to. We are not allowed to.
You know,
that is where we are at, guys.
They should start from home. For me, I'll not speak for like a whole general of like, you know, Black women. But for me, I will speak from the women that I know of, and that's like African women, that's Kenyan women, you know. I can't speak on like mental illness in the UK with like the Blacks and with our people, Black people, with the Africans or Caribbeans or, you know, from other parts of you know, other parts of the world, you know, because Black people, they only not come from Africa. Well, originally they did, but now it's Black people like that. There's Hispanic Black people, there's African Black people, there is so many Black people, honestly. There's even Black people.
So different.
Genuinely,
so different.
But for now, I'm just gonna speak from my perspective of an African woman, of an Indian woman, basically. The ideology of lazima ukwe na nguvu and you have to be strong, basically. I would say from my point of view,
I will come back to it. Yeah, go on, sorry.
From my point of view, you know, as Yvette said, that you're not expected to cry when you're weak. Lia, kama utaka kulia, lia, go to your room and cry. If you want to cry from Monday to Sunday, ile mtu akisema ukilia, you know, haita solve kitu. But if crying makes you feel better, cry about it.
No wonder we cry a lot at ceremonies. Honestly,
right. Exactly. Honestly, it's okay to feel low. Honestly, hata kuna siku ilikuwa na Nicole, I was worried kwa sababu mimi sikuwa worried. Sometimes I wake up feeling so low, not because
of our hormones and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like feeling so low. And you know, you feel so low and you can't even go to your family and speak to your family about that, like, oh, I feel so low because wakwambia asa huko na shida gani?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Like, being dramatic.
So dramatic. And then this thing of also comparison. And honestly, my mom, I also don't like that habit. And I can't blame my mom. Hiyo ni mentality ambayo amelelewa nayo. Ila mo kuna kazi yangu ambao ako upande wa mamake sasa. Unajua, so I can see my mom's point of view. Like sometimes my mom has a thing of like a lot of comparison. Either you as a Kenyan woman, do not compare yourself with your friends, with your neighbors, or your co-workers. You are an individual person. When you start comparing yourself, unasema hata mimi lazima unajua kanini nini mbona mimi unajua we're all both strong women, we're both mentally and physically strong. I'm just mentally strong, and then that breaks you down, and you don't have to be strong. You don't have to be strong if you want, because with depression also gets people who are strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Calvin has joined us. I personally admire strong African women, more so a woman who is effective on family foundation. But don't confuse being between strength and malicious in discipline, woman who can keep her home. Oh, that is so deep. You've gone really far, but anybody wants to talk about that? I think if you go to that part, that is a really
sorry.
part.
Sorry, Nicole. Sorry.
I'll read it again. Personally, admire strong African women, right? More so a woman who is effective on family foundation. But don't confuse being strength and a gossiper, malicious in discipline, woman who can keep her home. These women today, we'll resist that. We're not going to these women today. Because women are human beings. They have the weaknesses. And even men gossip. In fact, I know a lot of men in my life.
They do gossip a lot.
Mimi, I have a thing. I've got a thing
against a male, and he's the biggest gossiper I know. And I don't.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, go ahead.
For me, if you tell me something, it stays with me. It literally stays with me. You won't hear it elsewhere. But my best friend, if I want to know what happening everywhere, you just need to speak to Lisa.
Oh my God. Something of you and I Edgar Barry. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I'm so
my
sorry.
God. Hey, that's man Msabasi.
And I posted back on Akona receipts. Hey.
Yeah.
We're off topic. Kelvin Bugua opened this up.
It's like the king.
Kelvin, we love and appreciate you. Kelvin is one of my very, very good friends. Amazing person. He just says things the way they are. No man is supposed to abuse a woman. Yeah, but a woman should remember to be respectful of her husband. Be respectful doesn't mean you are weak. No, respect, because I believe in respect
both
so much.
Ways.
Either way, both ways.
Yeah, it's both
between
ways.
you and your children, between you and your hubby and you, it goes always. And if you want to be respected, you got to earn it. That's why you know what, when you see me interacting with my son, you'll be like, what, you're the mom here? I'm like, no, I want to earn that respect. I don't want to have to feel like I have to do certain things for him to respect me. I want him to know that he can respect me regardless of what's happening in our lives, so that when I respect him, that I'm doing it out of courtesy, because that's what I want for myself. But there's this game that people nowadays playing when it comes to respect. Oh, you respect me first, then I'll respect you. No, just be you. Be a better version of yourself in all ways than all these things that you want come. So yeah, cool.
Yes. And also, just to add on what you've said, Nicole, if we learn to be courteous, then naturally we just become respectful. Naturally, it happens. Yeah. So yeah, courtesy goes, both ways.
It does.
It goes both ways. Yeah.
It does. And when we're talking about strong women, and when you're talking about this, we want to strong women. If you're going to accept that crown that we're giving you today, but with a different meaning, take it. But no, it means having boundaries. Knowing that you have boundaries and you're going to place them. If you're still looking for a spouse, you're going to be clear on what you want in your life. Clear, so that they come to your life knowing that what you want and what they should expect. And if you're already in a relationship, they should be clear. There is no physical touching. No, the physical touching we want is very private in the bedroom. But the one that you're hitting me like I'm a wall, that is not allowed. That's not going to happen. The first time you hit the table showing me how angry you are is the first time you're finding me out of that house. because it starts from those little things. If you can't control yourself, you can't control your anger, if you haven't found ways to an outlet or something, I'll be that outlet one day. I don't know when. What if I'm sat by you that day? So place those boundaries. Place those boundaries. No, don't worry, we're enjoying that.
No, it's not. It's good because
in Wonderland.
Yeah, because the conversation we're having, like, it's all over the place. That helps with a good time. The conversation, you know, with what Kelvin has said, you know, in his deep conversations here. A strong woman doesn't. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking, but no, it's okay. Actually, it's okay. It was a good conversation. It's like, you know, like a little bit.
It's good. We liked it. Yeah.
But women out there, unajua ukiwa mahali pabaya, unajua kama you're having troubles with your marriage or your relationship or your work or everything, don't keep all that in and say because you're supposed to be strong and you can't complain. Ukitaka complain mpaka aseme hata mimi nimechoka na sasa bana complain sana. Because honestly, it's better to let it out rather than in.
True. Deal with stuff. Find ways of dealing with stuff, because you don't want to be dwelling on the negative in your life. Your whole life, you're always dwelling on complaining. You're still complaining about the same toxic relationship you're complaining about 5 years ago. Still. No, we don't want to be with still people. We want people who are growing and changing yourself, learning new things every day. We are past that. Are you working on it? Have you yes, talking is having the problem. We've spoken about it, but are we seeking a solution, or you're just talking and then we talk about it again 1 year down the line, 5 years down the line, we're still talking about the same thing? Oh, he hit me again yesterday. Yeah, he's been hitting you for 10 years. I'm not seeing what's new here. What's new? Or he takes all my money, all my I don't know, he's done this with my money, or he's always borrowing money from me that he'll give me back, or it was for this certain business. I've not even seen that business taking off. Yes, you 5 years ago you told me the same thing. Nothing's changed. Are we going to work on this? Are we going to find a solution and do something about it, or what? Okay. If anybody has any questions, while we wait for questions, we can talk about some of those things we can do to make sure that if they're gonna call us strong, we'll be proudly strong. Because, you know, being strong here to me is about being resilient, and we advocate being resilient, because in this world and these times, you've got to be resilient. You have to be mentally strong to be able to cope. There's a lot of things that are distracting us. There's a lot of things that we worry about. So we have to make sure we are in a good state. So for me, being strong is being resilient, being positive about life. So maybe we can share some of those tips we can do on how to stay resilient. And
I'm ready for Calvin Bogo's comment. On Facebook. I'm still confused, like, with the topic itself. But as Nicole said, I back up what she says. Basically, you have to be resilient. Stay resilient at all times. You know, whether in anything that you go through practically. And whether women or men I know it's about women, but women or men, people in is it diaspora, that word, like out of Kenya basically, and living abroad. And because you have to work hard, you have to be strong enough, or, you know, and work hard and then send money back home basically. That can also be overwhelming, because your family back home and like, oh, as Nicole said, like vumilia. Like, yeah, obviously strong, you know, equates to vumilia. Strength equates to vumilia. Vumilia to your
the right things,
people who come to you and ask you for money, yesterday your family, when you complain, when you confide, not complain, confide in them about your problems for diaspora, you know, your kazi kwa hivi, they say, oh, vumilia to mami, you know, you're so strong, just stay strong, so strong. So they can't even allow you to be weak. They can't even allow you to cry, because they'll tell you the word like, oh, be strong.
Yeah, I know.
You're a strong person. Like, you know, they're the cause of you. I don't know.
Listening to Lovin.
Thank you,
Kevin is saying, I think I missed the point. I think that's exactly what Lovin is also trying to figure out what you're really on about. I think I missed this point, but in general, Black women are gorgeous, strong, courageous, and better compared to others. Okay, so let me try and explain it again. We've had time again.
Yvette has, I
think the network or something, though her network looked okay today. Sometimes it does that, somebody just disappears. So what you're saying is that we've had time and time again people saying Black women are strong and stuff, and we've seen it working against us sometimes, you know, because we want to keep that narrative. We want to be strong. If you're struggling, maybe whatever, in an abusive relationship, you know, you can't tell your parents because your parents will tell you, oh, that's how maybe that people are. You got to stay there and try and keep it working. So you find that you don't have outlets. You can't tell people about things that are going on in your life because they already expect you to be strong. If you say it, then you're weak. If you try and, you know, then you're weak. Those are some of the things we're talking about. And then the example Yvette told us that even medically, if a Black woman says she's having a mental problem, mental breakdown or something, it's always taken as a weakness. So the topic today is just about regarding mental health when it comes to Black women being called strong. That's basically it. So we're saying, yes, we are fine with the title. We're fine with the title. We're happy to be called strong. But if strong means certain things to you, those are the things we're saying no to. Right. And then I also gave an example before you joined. Most of you didn't join. Is how if you find a Black woman and any other counterpart going to the doctors and they have the same condition, maybe they're all both struggling with whatever, cancer and stuff, you find that our counterparts will tend to get stronger painkillers than us. You might not even be given it. But our counterparts, they'll be given even steroids, different types of steroids to handle the pain because they can't handle pain. African women can't handle pain. You see, that is our point today. That's what we're talking about today. Yeah. Asante Yvette, you're back. You're back.
I clicked on something. I went
no, okay.
With regard to what Lovin said about, you know, the expectations being high, and especially when you're working, you know, in the diaspora, and even when you're here, expectations on us women, African women, are so high. So what we need to do, we need to set clear boundaries. This is as far as I can go. Beyond this, I'm breaking. And then let the people around you know that this is my boundary. Beyond this, yeah. So when we set clear boundaries, you're telling them that, you know, I can't provide that which you expect me to provide because I do not have the capacity to be it or to do it. Yeah, and also you are, by doing that, you're also accepting your own limitations as a person, which means that you won't push yourself to go beyond your own capacity, you know?
Yeah.
So that will work.
Virginia is one of, Virginia, I happily give you the strong woman crown. You're a very beautiful, strong woman. And I call her strong because she has her own stuff, but she's always there for her friends. So yeah, Virginia, you take the crown happily. Happily. A strong woman. She'll be there for
always posting really positive stuff.
Very positive. So yes, you have that. So okay, we are talking about the strong women thing and all these things we have to do, or Proverbs 31, like Yvette was telling us, where we are the expectations of who a strong woman should be. So you have to handle work, you have to handle the kids, you have to handle the hubby, you have to handle this and handle this. So if I'm going to give you one tip today, not the only one, I've got several others on staying resilient and strong. One thing we need to do as women is learn how to delegate duties. Delegate duties. You don't have to handle everything to prove that you're strong. You don't have to prove it to anybody. That's not, you don't need to prove a point to anybody, by the way.
Yes.
Let's start from there.
Ask for help.
Delegate. If there's something you can ask somebody, if hubby can take the kids to school, he's going to work. You don't have to leave home at whatever, 6 p.m., 6 a.m. or whatever. You don't have to. He's going that way. Yeah, take the kids on your way there. Take the kids on your way. Your mom lives around there. Your mom goes that way, maybe going to whatever business. Yeah, let mom help so long as you're not stressing mom. Yeah, it's not much to ask as well. And people have the right to say no. You don't ask, you don't get. You don't ask, the answer will always be no. Because you didn't ask in the first place. So ask for help, delegate.
Yeah, and also just to add to that point, most people at work never say no. Yeah, you're given duties are piled up, but we just don't say no. We don't say I'll need help with this, because then we don't want to be seen as, not being good enough at work. We need to normalize, guys. We need to normalize asking for help, knowing how much we can take, and also just telling our boss, hey, this is too much. I'm not gonna be able to deliver this. Can I get some extra hands to help me with this?
Yeah, it becomes counterproductive taking on too much, because now you're not even delivering. So the boss is thinking, you've not even finished the other job, you have not finished this other job. But if you do maybe 2 jobs and you do them well, you're better off than taking on 10 jobs and not delivering.
True.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Totally agree. And also, the bosses, they're human too. Yeah? If we express ourselves to them, they will understand. Chances are they will understand.
Yeah,
definitely. Take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. You're not Superman, you're not Batman or Superwoman or Aquaman, but they're all men for some reason. They're all men. Superwoman. Wonder Woman, you're not Wonder Woman, you're not Superwoman, you're not, hey, you're not Catwoman. There's not so many Superwomen here, but you are, and you're not Jesus, okay? Probably not better than Judas. Like no, it's okay. It's okay to be weak. It's okay to feel weak. It's okay to cry. You'll have those difficult times. And when you feel weak, go to your friends. And when you get to a point where you need help, professional help, you have to go for professional help. Don't believe, because even for me, the time when I was going through my depression, and I was talking to this with my best friend actually, and my best friend, we were saying like, therapy is for white people. That's why exactly what we said actually. Therapy ni ya wazungu, si ya kwetu, si ya Africa. But it's really important. Go and seek help. Really go and seek help. Go and seek help. Nyumbani, obviously nyumbani pia enda ukaseek help. Nyumbani pia unajua, nyumbani pia nasema tu kwamba hizo mambo za therapy ni mambo za wazungu. But deep down actually you're breaking down. And maana hivyo unaona kwamba like there's a lot of suicide rates. Unapata like I watched like a Tuko TV on YouTube, and there was a story of a woman. There's so many stories, and there was one story of a lady basically, and I think ilikuwa ni pastor, alikutana na pastor ama ni mtu wa kanisa, the church she was going to, na mtu akampatia mimba, and I would say fortunately, because kids are a blessing, and akapata mapacha, twins basically, and so she did not go back home. I don't know. She was just like keeping all this in, even though she was going out asking for help. She was keeping all this in. She wanted to stay strong for the sake of her kids. But because she was staying strong for the sake of her kids, never really, because like once the church turned against her, and, she was lucky enough to have like those good, like 1 or 2 good neighbors, basically. I do not know where her friends were. But in her eyes, basically, she had to be strong for the sake of her kids, practically. To a point whereby akashikwa na depression, and she's even thinking of like committing suicide. She's thinking of like killing the kids and then committing suicide. Unaona? That's because she had to be strong for the sake of the kids. But you don't really have to be strong for the sake of you, so that when you are strong for you, you can be strong for others. But if you're going to be strong for others, then who's going to be strong for you?
Yeah.
So you have to look after yourself, basically. Strength does not mean that you have to do this. Strength is not only physically, strength is also emotionally and mentally, basically. So look after yourself. And as Yvette said, at your workplace, if you're given like loads of work as well, because we don't know, and sometimes, which is good to have like appraisal at work. That boss always like, your manager, and I praise all the time. Oh, Yvette, I love you because you're resilient.
You're a yes person. Everything, yes.
Yes, and you're
Yes,
strong.
yes.
And yeah, most of us to give our compliments like you're so strong. I'm like, oh, thank you. Take as a good, which is a good positive compliment. But at the same time, the stronger you are,
Be
sometimes
careful,
like
it's being
send
told
more
to you.
workloads,
Mm.
more workloads
So
done.
they don't know Mia.
So don't know
Mm,
me.
yeah.
Don't know me. Nilikuwa na such a kazi ambayo ilikuwa nafanya extra shifts basically za watu all the time.
Yeah. Watu
Nilikuwa
hawajaenda atafanya.
mi ndo nafanya. So because so because she always says yes, she's always like that. She's just in short, just take care of yourself basically. It's good to be strong, and I can say I'm strong, pretty much.
Yeah,
Mentally, not physically, just mentally.
Physical. Okay, another thing we need to remember is to eat well and exercise. It sounds obvious,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it's crazy because we don't do those. We need exercise. Hakuna science improve against exercise, and exercise doesn't have to be something you don't love. Always do something you love and you can keep doing. Eat well, because the fact is you were strong maybe 10, 20 years ago, but with time things have changed. Hormones zimebadilika, you're in a different environment, things have changed with time. Be kind to yourself and be forgiving to yourself. Make sure you have a healthy diet and you're exercising just to keep everything in balance, because hizo ndo vitu zinaletanga hizo ma stress na ma whatever, what is it called, my depression and stuff like that, because you're not looking after yourself generally, you're not eating well and exercising. So immediately you start going down and you notice you're going down, you notice your energy is going down, you start being stressed for being stressed, or you start being stressed for not being the person who you were, you start being stressed for not being that strong person people perceive you as. You become unforgiving to yourself. Forgive yourself, just continue looking after yourself. Remember, it's really important to do that. And then lastly, you need to remember to be spiritual, whatever that means to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As I say, my strength comes from Jesus. Without Jesus, I would not be here. Without Jesus, I would not be, mentally strong or emotionally strong. So, spiritually.
Yeah.
For atheists,
prayers have worked for me too. Yeah, and I draw lots of strength from prayer.
Yeah.
And prayer, I just feel, hope. I just feel, that I'm at a better place just because, I connected with God. Yeah. So spirituality.
I love yoga so much myself. Yoga, because yoga, I have double benefit. I got to meditate and I got to exercise at the same time. I don't do extreme yoga. When you tell people yoga, they're always worried. Oh, you mean the extreme yoga and be able to do that? Yeah, I can't do that, but you don't have to be like, well, no, you don't have to go to extreme. Start from somewhere and just keep it. But exercise, it's different for everybody. What's good for you is not necessarily good for the other person. Yeah, for me, it's what works for me, because I get double thing. My spiritual life has been taken care of. My physical one has been taken care of. So when it comes to spirituality, to me, it's meditation and prayer. I love my prayers and watching all relevant things. I make sure that I just watch all relevant things that can build me spiritually, because there's a lot of noise out here. There's a lot of noise. Yeah. So I don't know that, girls, you have more tips.
I have 3 more. I don't know whether we mentioned it, but take some time off for rest and self-care. Many of us don't. Yeah, we work, and then when we are on leave, we go to shags to to dig our shambas and take care, do some other stuff.
Yeah.
But just normalize taking some time off for vacations, even if it means just staying in your house and sleeping all day. It's okay. That's self-care for you. Even if it means going to the salon and getting all done and feeling good about yourself, it's okay. Even if it means taking your kids to your parents, if they agree, just so that you have some personal time, please do, because you need to recharge, you need to rejuvenate so that you're a better person. That's number 1. Number 2 was treat other Black women with dignity. Remember, charity starts at home.
Yes.
Starts right with us. So when you are in a position of service, say you are a customer service agent, you're a salesperson, wherever you are, treat other Black people well. You know
Whatever
what?
you do,
So the
you're the
world will slowly
criminal or you're the
adjust and
order.
adopt that. Yes. And no Black person, no Black woman will feel like, they're being stepped on. Yeah. The world, when we start, then the world is also going to, normalize it and do it.
Yeah.
And the third one was we need to also speak out against unfair policies and practices. Like, it's really sad, Nicole, what you've told us about, us going to hospital and we're not given painkillers because we can endure,
Pain.
the pain. So we need to speak out against such things.
Yeah.
Some people might not know, some might know and, just ignore. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we speak about it, then, something will be done about
It,
Yeah.
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know
Yeah.
this thing whereby nyumbani, sorry, I'm trying to read something. Yeah. Najua hii kitu ambayo fanyika nyumbani. Kama
Sorry, my darling, I've seen my friend comes on Patience. She's not Kenyan, so she might not understand.
Okay, there's this thing basically in Kenya or like African countries as well, whereby if as an African you go there, especially this is what actually my mom told me when we were still in Kenya, and I don't know if it was Travelers. It was one of the hotels, one of the 5-star hotel back then, and this was actually an African American person, not even it was an African American person. I think it was an African American person or someone from Nairobi. Probably was probably an African person, like a Kenyan person, basically from Nairobi. But like one of those like wealthy families, basically. And they'd gone on a holiday in Mombasa, practically. And so it was I can't remember the name of the hotel. It's African something. And so when the family gets there, imagine they refuse to serve the family.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
They refuse to serve the family, and it's so sad, And you find even some places when you go, the receptionists are actually so rude. I have a cousin whose husband is white, and they went to like one of those apartments, and when she went there, the receptionist, who was actually a woman as well, refused to acknowledge her technically and was speaking down on her. So an African woman, you should treat another African woman with respect. Not degrade the other person. Do not, it has nothing to do with strength. I was just like putting out there, basically, you don't have to degrade some, another human being. And that's the thing, like, goes back to what you were saying, practically, African women, basically, generally, sometimes, or just Kenyan women, tend to put other women down, practically.
Yeah.
So,
it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't add anything to your life. It doesn't add anything to their life. It probably destroys their life in a way because you don't know what they're going through. And that little act might be something that changes their life in a negative way. So just be careful how you treat people in general. Be very, very careful. I'm a mother of Child Cure Center for Therapy and Rehabilitation. I'm a first African here. Like this institution were made for white people. No, let's get used for helping center. Oh, I'm a Child Cure Center. I'm in Amada Child Cure Center of Therapy. I'm the first African here. Oh, so Africans don't go there.
Yeah, like, they were made for like Wazungus.
Yeah, Virginia, is that what you meant? That is so sad. Virginia, you're just similar to me. When I'm going through things, I don't need it a lot more like years ago. But if I needed a respite, I'll treat myself to a respite. If there was a chance, a free respite somewhere, I'll go. If I'm taking my son or I'm going on my own, I'll go for respites. And funny enough, like what Virginia is saying, you find that you don't get Black people in these respites. You don't get Black people in these respites. It's like it's meant for white people. No, it's meant for everybody. If you have a free time, a chance to go and reset, recharge, take it and do it. So I'm seeing some people just join, like my friend Patience. I don't know that she's still watching or she's gone, because we were speaking a lot of Swahili. Patience, welcome. Sorry, sometimes we get carried away. So when you come on, say hello to us and tell us where you're joining from, and remind us to not to speak a lot of Swahili. Yeah. We were coming to an end. I don't know whether we have anything to add. Just a recap to those who have just joined us today. We were talking about Black women, how they're meant to be strong and stuff. And we're just saying that, you know what, we are happy to be called strong. We are happy to be strong. Strong means we are resilient, and resilient means is we know we can handle stress, or we know how to control it, or we know we can spot it and know that no, it's not good for us, and we want to come out of it or find ways of helping ourselves out of it. If that's what strong is, we're saying fine, we embrace it, we acknowledge it, we accept it. If strong means that we can, be assertive without being called aggressive, we say that's fine, we're accepting strong. But if strong means that if I went to my doctors and just because I'm African woman, he thinks that I can handle maybe that extreme pain and doesn't think I deserve the same medication that you would give to my counterparts, we say that's when a problem comes. If strong means that I let people abuse me, family, friends abuse me, take advantage of me, and I can't say anything. I'm meant to be saying yes, yes, yes to fit that narrative of a strong woman, then we're saying no to that. It means being abused and stuff, we're saying no to that. So that's what we were talking about today. If you're just joining, if you have some questions, please feel free to ask as we come to an end of the discussion. We've mentioned a lot of tips up there on how to handle this situation. We said you make sure that you delegate, don't be overwhelmed, don't take a lot, don't take in everything just for people to say you're strong or you can handle it, or you're like, no, don't do it. Your boss is overwhelming you with work. Say no. Be assertive and give valid reasons. Always be prepared for such things. Give valid reasons. You're not to be disrespectful to your boss or anything. I'd be expected to be the farmer and the mother and worker and what. Tell her, no, maybe that other thing we can delegate it to somebody. Somebody else can do this. I don't have to do all that. Say no, and then let it out, share it with a friend. Cry if you have to. Don't bottle it. Find ways of letting it out, so long as you don't dwell on it and just not trying to solve it, just rolling in the mud of enjoying your worries and problems. Come out of it, find solution. Then he said, get professional help where applicable, where needed. Don't be embarrassed. Get help. Get help. It's not a thing for just the rich or just the what or just the what. If you want that kind of
for everyone,
it is for everyone. You said also, well, be a spiritual person. Spirituality is amazing. It's what keeps us safe. It's what kept our mothers saying. That's how they handle most of this thing. But now we are coming out of spirituality a lot, so we got to be careful to go back and reconnect, and then take me time, have self-care moments, even if it's just sitting in the bath and just enjoying some time in the bath, or watching your favorite program that makes you laugh. Do whatever it takes, and treat people with dignity. Treat people like the way you want to be treated. Whether you're a cleaner, whether you're a cleaner, you see some people that could be a cleaner, but they're so angry at the world, so angry at people. No, enjoy your work, love your work, know your goals, know where you're coming from, where you're going, where you're headed. Know your life so that things don't worry you. If people are trying to walk over your work, trying to make you feel inferior, it will just bounce. You won't worry about such things. You know what you are. So yeah, Yvette, back to you.
And all in all, when help is offered to you, accept it. Accept it. And just one last example, you could be at work and you have your seat might be uncomfortable. You know what? It's okay. Go tell your boss that, you know what, this seat is not serving, it's causing me backaches. So just accept that help can always be offered to you, but you've got to speak out first. And there's no shame in asking for help. Does not take away the fact that you're strong. Because you've achieved so much that already just means that you're a strong person.
Agreed. I'm seeing Lovin has come out. I don't know that she's coming back. I don't know whether I have any other points that I would have prepared. So yeah. Be strong enough to walk away. Walking away sometimes walk away from BS. If the BS is too much, walk away. If it's something that cannot be salvaged, if I can say, you know, if it's something that is extreme, walk away. Have that strength to pack. People will talk either way, so don't worry about people, worry about yourself. If you need to walk away from BS, walk away.
Walk away.
Walk away. That is the, I don't know, of being strong. Walking away is the ultimate strength.
Yeah, actually it said that holding on is not the strength. Real strength is in letting go. And if you know a situation is not working out for you, be strong enough to let go.
Yeah. So yeah, that is the hardest for most of us. That is the hardest. Well, I think that's a wrap. I don't know that Yvette Lovin will be coming back. That's a wrap for us. And thank you everybody who's just joined us.
Yeah, this has been a powerful session. It's been therapeutic to me too. You know.
Yeah, you know, I when you give, you also receive, and that's the beginning of receiving, actually, because it transforms you in ways that you wouldn't have imagined. So yeah, I do enjoy it. I do enjoy learning. So asante ni sana, everybody. Asante. Thank you for watching, and it's bye from us. Be good.
Yeah,
Look
bye
after
for
yourself.
now. Yeah, remember to take care of yourselves. Oh, and Eid Mubarak to everyone. And those who are having a holiday tomorrow, yay! Let's party.
Enjoy. Be good
So
to
take care, guys. Enjoy the long weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Be good.